Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today's question is, can I analyze the first 3 episodes of the 2022 Netflix documentary titled Harry and Meghan? Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing anybody in this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoy this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I'll put the link to Patreon in the description for this video. First, I will look at a brief background of this case, move to the summary of the first 3 episodes of the documentary, then offer my analysis. Meghan Markle was an actress when she met Prince Harry. The couple married in May of 2018, at which time Meghan became the Duchess of Sussex. In January 2020, the couple announced that they were going to step back as senior members of the royal family, and they eventually moved to the United States. This led to a lot of controversy and made both Harry and Meghan polarizing figures. The couple has spoken out several times against people who have criticized them, and they have complained repeatedly about how they have been unfairly judged. They blame not only their critics, but the British royal family and the media. Now moving to a summary of the first 3 episodes of the documentary. Much of this is paraphrased, and I have changed the order of some of the items covered in the series. Right away, it's clear that the first 3 episodes are designed to paint Harry and Meghan as sympathetic figures. They are caring and loving people who have been ostracized by the royal family, persecuted by the media, and misunderstood by the public. Their love story is breathtaking, monumental, magnificent, and of biblical proportions. They sacrificed everything to be together, but ultimately saved each other from the evil forces which conspired against them. The 3 episodes cover the younger years of both Harry and Meghan, their love story, and their struggles leading up to their wedding. Harry's background is framed as tragic and isolated. In 1997, he lost his mother, Diana, Princess of Wales, in a motor vehicle collision. He blames the paparazzi for her death. Life as a prince left Harry struggling for privacy and security. The media interfered in his dating life because women that he dated were targeted. Harry admits that he had some indiscretions, but blames the media for exaggerating them. Meghan Markle's background is framed a little differently. She is represented as intelligent, creative, and destined for something great. She grew up in Los Angeles. Meghan's mother is black and her father is white. Her parents separated when she was young. Her mother cared for her during the week, and she saw her father on weekends. When Meghan was 11, she became an activist when she wrote a letter to Procter & Gamble complaining about a soap commercial. Meghan was a straight-A student in high school. She became an actress, went to college. She engaged in charitable work, had a website-based business, and was generally set up for massive success. She was just getting ready to revolutionize the world and was intent on remaining single when Harry took an interest in her after seeing images of her on Instagram. Her life, which was close to perfect, was just about to get complicated. Harry and Meghan started dating in July of 2016. They fell in love right away because they were so similar and amazing. At first, the relationship was a secret, but on October 30, 2016, that would change. The media reported that they were a couple. Now everyone knew. Meghan had never thought about being biracial until her relationship with Harry became public. The tabloid press in the UK was unfair to Meghan. She believed that they were racist. Harry was upset by this and even made a statement asking the media to stop being racist. This did not help. The media kept harassing Meghan. The royal family told her not to say anything, and they assured her that the media would back off eventually. Meghan was not convinced of this. She thought the media would find a way to destroy her. The media continued to harass Meghan over the next several months, distorting the history of her family to make her look bad. Even still, Meghan loved being part of the royal family and looked forward to a life of quiet service. She viewed it as a continuation of what she was already doing before meeting Harry. Meghan had some trouble learning the ways of the royal family, but she tried hard. She spoke out on political issues, which was frowned upon. Episode 3 ends right before the wedding between Harry and Meghan in May of 2018. Now moving to my analysis. Here are my thoughts on a few areas that stood out to me in this case. Item number 1. The first 3 episodes pointed out legitimate hardships faced by Harry and Meghan. For example, Harry lost his mother when he was young. Both Harry and Meghan were harassed by the paparazzi, and Meghan was treated unfairly by some members of the media, which included being targeted with racist remarks. Item number 2, both Harry and Meghan possess several positive characteristics and have achieved notable accomplishments. For example, Harry served in the military for 10 years. Meghan was able to find work as an actress. She was relatively successful. Both of them performed work on behalf of charities, and, based on what is featured in the documentary, they both seem like caring and attentive parents. Some have noted that the couple has their shortcomings, but even still, their positive characteristics are planted firmly against the debt of their sin, to use a biblical reference. Item number 3, Harry and Meghan presented themselves as victims in several ways. The media was racist. The media took photographs of them and their children. The royal family was not supportive. And no one let them tell their side of the story. The whole point of the documentary is to enable the couple to finally tell their story, but really, they have been telling it all along. All they seem to do is tell their story. Meghan complained that people don't have a sense of who she is. Considering how much she has talked during interviews, on her podcast, and in other places, it is more reasonable to believe that people do have a sense of who she is, and they simply do not like her. This is unimaginable to Meghan. She cannot accept that some people will never be on her side. I find it interesting that Meghan said that it was important that people hear the story directly from her and her husband because the stakes were so high. In reality, the stakes are not high, but this is how Meghan views herself. Anything that happens to her is of intense interest and importance to the entire world. Item number 4, it appears that Harry and Meghan are seeking validation for the decision to become quasi-royals. They want the public to view their decision as understandable, wise, and even necessary for survival. Harry suggested that anyone else in his situation would have done the same thing. The disapproval of the British royal family stings so painfully that only validation from the rest of the world will compensate for it. Item number 5, the documentary works diligently to convince viewers that Harry and Meghan are good people. And as I mentioned, there's no denying that they have several positive characteristics. The problem is, of course, that even people who make unwise decisions have positive characteristics. There are serial killers out there who were well liked as children. That doesn't mean that they should be let out of prison. If a serial killer is reminiscing about their pre-homicidal romantic dealings, is anybody going to care? Does that compensate for later actions? It would appear as though the couple is counting on the halo effect. This is when people believe that if a person has one positive characteristic, they must be good in every way. The couple strongly believes that if people can only get to know them better, they will automatically admire, treasure, and value them. Item number 6, Harry and Meghan believe that they are special. They have a sense of entitlement, a need for admiration, a phenomenal level of self-confidence, superficial charm, and they have no awareness of their flaws. One could argue that they have characteristics from both grandiose and vulnerable narcissism, but the grandiose narcissistic characteristics come through more clearly in the documentary. Grandiose narcissism is expressed in 2 ways, agentic and communal. Agentic narcissism reflects the assertive characteristics of narcissism, like grandiosity and feeling special. A narcissist using this strategy is out for themselves and will not consider how their behavior may help or hurt others. The communal narcissist, however, tries to satisfy their desire for power and self-esteem by demonstrating positive characteristics. They are honest, outgoing, warm, friendly, and often advance charitable causes. The problem is that people can easily see through the communal narcissist. Ultimately, they end up abandoning communal efforts and return to solely an agentic strategy. Ultimately, a communal narcissist is not much more than a poorly disguised agentic narcissist. Item number 7, Meghan pretends to have a clear mission about what she wants to achieve, but she often talks in circles. Her message is anything but clear. She uses a lot of keywords that are popular right now, like culture and diversity, but she's not presenting insightful statements. Like she knows those words are important, but doesn't know what they mean. She doesn't know how to apply those concepts to help anybody. She simply does not have a plan. Item number 8, Harry's comparison of his mother Diana and his wife Meghan leads to an interesting conceptualization of this case. He believes that Meghan and Diana had similar personalities. They had a lot in common. They viewed the world the same way. Harry saw what happened to his mother and blames the media. When Harry started dating Meghan, he saw the same dynamics play out with her, like aggressive photographers following her around. Harry became concerned that history would repeat itself and became protective of Meghan. Perhaps this is about more than just protecting Meghan. It's about bringing a sense of purpose to his mother's death. Like Diana's tragic death saved Meghan through Harry's reaction. Now the death of Diana makes sense. It was a terrible loss, but also led to something positive for Harry. Again, it was his recognition of the pattern that led to him saving Meghan. Harry may see his escape from the royal family as a hero's journey, which was informed through his own traumatic experiences. This explains his high level of devotion to Meghan. In a manner of speaking, she has become a substitute for his mother. This certainly makes his actions more understandable and makes him a much more sympathetic figure. Which brings me to item number 9. As Harry becomes more sympathetic, Meghan becomes less so. Meghan has represented herself as in danger for her life when she was in Britain, but she was not in any more danger than any other member of the royal family. Meghan may have played on Harry's fears in order to speak out against her critics. She may have used his desire to play the hero so that she could play the victim. It wasn't just Meghan saying that people were being mean to her. Now she had Harry supporting her in this message. He was saying the same thing. They were functioning as a couple, a team. It was them against the world. I think what Meghan could not stand about being a member of the royal family was the rule about being quiet. Harry's experiences opened the door for Meghan to talk, or, more accurately, opened a floodgate. Item number 10. What are my thoughts on the quality of the documentary? So not necessarily my opinion of Harry or Meghan, but my criticism of the documentary itself. The documentary is interesting at times, but overall it falls short of being riveting or compelling. It is clearly biased in favor of Harry and Meghan, at least during the first 3 episodes. It was constantly trying to frame the experiences of Harry and Meghan into a larger context, like their experiences point to greater societal challenges. This way the couple does not have to take any ownership. Rather, they are actually heroes trying to save people from a similar fate. This makes me wonder, who is the audience that this couple is targeting? Who can relate to this material? Does the general public really have to worry about dealing with the British royal family or the media? What changes could a person make in response to what they heard in the documentary? What life lessons are contained in it? I think it is reasonable to believe that there is only one change the documentary seeks, convincing people to side with Harry and Meghan. Another criticism of the documentary is how, in an effort to be against racism, it almost promotes racism. It talks about how Harry, as a white male, was probably inherently racist, but then he opened his mind and overcame his unconscious bias. I find it interesting that the default position for a white male would be thought of as racist. That ideology itself could be thought of as racist. It also suggests that if anyone disagrees with Harry's position, as far as Meghan, they must be racist as well. The documentary is dead set on making people feel guilty for criticizing Meghan Markle, making them feel ashamed for drawing logical and appropriate conclusions about her behavior. This is intellectually lazy and part of a larger problem where people try to escape the consequences of their actions by claiming that there is a larger context at work, like unconscious bias. I think that unconscious bias is real, but it's just as likely to affect Harry and Meghan as it is to affect anyone else. What makes them think that they are the ones who are enlightened. Now moving to my final thoughts. Harry and Meghan wanted to make viewers aware of their incredible love story. It is a fable which will resonate throughout the ages, and the couple is just getting started. There is more excitement in the future from them. I am compelled to agree that their love story is historic. It is one of the greatest examples of self-love I have ever seen. Harry and Meghan view themselves as similar, therefore they can easily channel their incredible self-love to each other. The love the couple has for themselves is so strong that it would burn brightly even if the world ignored them, which, unlike the couple's love, would bring peace and joy to millions of people. Those are my thoughts on the first 3 episodes of the documentary, Harry and Meghan. Please put any opinions and thoughts in the comment section. They always generate an interesting dialogue. As always, I hope you found my analysis of this topic to be informative. Thanks for watching.